This ABC15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
I'm Faye Fredericks with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Turning now to America Votes 2023, thousands of ballots still need to be counted, and we expect daily updates. But initial results from Election Day are in. Many bond and override issues hanging in the balance. Mesa Public Schools, the largest district in the state, seeking money to repair and even replace several of their campuses. This race is a close one. The bond request is currently failing, with only about 1,000 votes separating yes and no. Queen Creek Unified asking voters for a bond for the third year in a row. So far, that third attempt is also failing, with 60% voting no. School issues not the only thing on Arizona ballots. Voters in Flagstaff deciding whether to approve a new hospital on the outskirts of the city. It's been the focus of heated debate in recent months. This one failing by a wide margin, with 72% voting no. Arizona State School Superintendent Tom Horn is warning schools to avoid allowing materials from UNICEF and Amnesty International from being distributed on campus. Horn's warning comes a week after two student clubs at Desert Mountain High School in Scottsdale used materials from the human rights groups as part of a presentation on the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Horn and some members of the Jewish community described the materials as anti-Semitic and anti-American and say they promoted anti-Israel propaganda by describing the rape, murder, and torture of Palestinians by Israeli forces.
If that club would have had accurate information and would have had two views in the room where they could speak about the situation, it would have been terrific, because kids would have learned something and they would have learned correct information. But instead, they went home learning lies.
Desert Mountain's principal alerted parents about the presentation and the concerns it caused among some Jewish students in particular. Scottsdale Unified Superintendent Scott Menzel says the school and the district are conducting a review of the presentation and will present their findings to Horn. Menzel says the students did speak about Hamas's attack on Israeli citizens at the beginning of the meeting. Another successful year at the Arizona State Fair. More than 1 million people showed up for the rides, the games, the food, and all the fun. Tonight, inside the numbers from the big event at the fairgrounds last month, more than 1.4 million people attended. Over 204,000 plush toys were won playing fair games. The turkey leg still a favorite for the crowds, with more than 80,000 sold. And thousands also participated in Feel Good Fridays by donating nearly 130,000 pounds of food for our Operation Santa Claus, benefiting St. Mary's Food Bank. Business is booming in the East Valley as more housing developments pop up. New restaurants and entertainment venues are also opening, many specifically built with families in mind. Some also include a charity element in their business plan. That's what Bird Call is doing in Gilbert, the chicken restaurant's third location in the valley, holding its grand opening today near Santan Village. A percentage of all sales goes to local charities throughout the year. The most recent recipient, Winged Hope, a domestic violence charity. Schools can also team up for fundraisers. Today, the first 25 teachers and first responders were awarded free food for a year. Bird Call has dine-in and drive-through options, a putting green, and adult drinks.
It's Operation Santa Claus.
To the Claus and help make the holidays special for Valley children and families through Operation Santa Claus. Now through December 20th, we're collecting non-perishable food, children's clothing, new toys, and cash donations. It all goes to 5 amazing charities here in the Valley. To donate, head to Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Lincoln, select U-Haul locations, or you can always give online at givetotheclaus.com. And for every donation, you'll get one entry into a drawing for a chance to win a brand new all-electric Ford F-150 Lightning or the 2023 Lincoln Corsair midsize SUV, courtesy of Sanderson Ford and Sanderson Lincoln.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens, and our Big Valley cool down has arrived. Temperatures dropped into the 80s today, and tomorrow we're going down into the 70s. 55 degrees in the morning, 73 at noon, and 79 degrees for our high here in Phoenix around 4 p.m. Winds for us will be light, but they are still going to be incredibly windy along the Colorado River out to the west. Gust at 45 miles per hour, and wind advisories in effect from Lake Mead all the way down through La Paz County until 7 7 p.m. on Thursday. Here's a look at that wind situation starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. Winds at about 15 to 30 miles per hour in that part of our state. And as we head through the day, they will stay up. In fact, not until about 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow night do they lighten up a bit. But even then, remain breezy all through the overnight hours and into Friday morning as well for Bullhead City. Back here in the valley, light winds, mostly sunny skies, 70s to end the week and 80s back in play Veterans Day weekend.